Folks, welcome back to a very special edition of Automotive Adventures with Austin. We are actually in the back room of Jegs on 11th Avenue, where our Jegs NASCAR has been sleeping for the last week or so, since we got done with the Good Guys Nationals here in Columbus, Ohio. And it's probably the end of the story, or at least this chapter of the story with the NASCAR. And I want to come over here and talk with Terry, who is the lead architect to being able to help me get this thing done, and what it is today because of the fact that I have this connection with the guys here at Jegs. So about beginning of May, we discussed, hey, we should build a NASCAR.
Right.
And
you happen to know a guy that had one.
And I knew a guy that had one, yeah. Doug was gracious enough to say, hey, you know what we should do is we should totally take 2 NASCARs on Power Tour. And I thought that was a great idea instead of taking one of my cars that was done and ready to go. And I have never built a Chevy. As weird as that is to say, I have never built a small block Chevy. I don't own anything that runs a small block Chevy. So I was a little bit out of my element, and I was expecting the fact that it was going to be really, really difficult to find parts for. And realistically,
Chevrolet stuff you get at Walgreens. You can buy it at Walgreens. You break it down the road, you can actually go to Walgreens and buy a set of rock arms from a small block Chevrolet.
We built this whole car from here.
Yes,
basically.
We did everything from short block up. I mean, because Bob had a short block.
Yeah.
Everything else we got here. Everything from the heads, the intake manifold, carburetors, rockers, push rods, everything, gaskets. We had it all. Everything was here. Yeah.
I was, again, this was my first Chevy, so this was kind of a really weird experience. When I come in here for Pontiac stuff or Oldsmobile or Buick stuff, a lot of it I'm going to have to order.
That's weird for me.
Yeah. I'm going to need to order stuff. I'm going to need to find it. It may be in the warehouse, but it's probably not here. Yeah. Whereas the vast majority of this stuff, even down to the steering wheel and stuff. The steering wheel situation we fixed like the day before we left.
The day before we left, because we had it in stock right there on the wall. So yeah, it was an easy deal. So and we actually got one for Doug at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was kind of one of the really, really cool experiences for me is, I guess I obviously I come down here quite a lot, but I didn't really quite understand the level of parts that you keep in stock for something like this.
Yes.
Now, obviously there's certain things that are NASCAR specific that I can't get anywhere else. Right. But as far as all of the running gear, the fuel system, the brakes mostly, all the engine stuff, the ignition stuff, everything.
Everything. Yeah, we had it all here. Yeah.
I mentioned when we were getting ready to go on Hot Rod Power Tour that this was not the initial plan, was to build a Jegs NASCAR. We were just building a NASCAR because it would be cool to take another NASCAR, and it was a white wrapped car. And then Jegs literally was like, yeah, we'll get on board with that project. And they came on board to help me make this thing happen and ended up turning this thing into this beautiful yellow machine that it is today. For those of you who don't know, it is a 406 cubic inch small block Chevrolet. Super T10 4-speed manual transmission, clutch, flywheel, bell housing, all that stuff from you guys.
Yep.
All the engine stuff, the fire extinguisher, the fuel system, the tank, everything. All of that stuff came from here.
Yep.
But the idea was we just wanted to take another NASCAR on Hot Rod Power Tour because it would be cool to do it. And because Jegs came on board, it really made it a lot more interesting experience.
Yes. Plus it was really nice to do the wrap. Really nice because Cody Kaufman used to drive one of these in the CCRA series and looked basically identical to this. So it's kind of cool to have a car that was on the racetrack driving on Power Tour. So it's very, very, very cool.
It was a lot of fun. I'll be honest. It was not as terrible as many of you would think. Fortunately, the weather worked out nicely. But realistically speaking, the fun of driving a NASCAR on the street outweighs any of the struggle.
Any slight uncomfortable as far as the heat was concerned, but just driving it. Thumbs up wherever you go.
Yeah. Absolutely everywhere. Kids love it.
Follows you whenever you're trying to get to your parking spot because you got a team behind you wait until you stop. Yeah. So it's just a cool thing.
Almost every day I got there, I had people that were literally waiting to talk to me. Like when I got out of the car, I wasn't even out of the car yet, and there was already people there. So I do want to walk around a little bit and show you guys the car and show you, like, I'm not kidding about the amount of Jegs parts that are on this thing. I joked with the guys at Jegs because we did have this in the Good Guys booth over the weekend about how many parts are actually on this thing and making it a game to see if you could figure out how many parts are on it. And we'll just start here up the front. Let me grab that with you. Here, a lift. All right, if you're taking notes, here we go. Jegs air cleaner lid, Jegs air cleaner, Jegs fuel rail with gauge, Jegs 750 CFM carburetor, Jegs cool gap intake manifold, Jegs fittings, Jegs throttle. These technically came from Jegs, though they're not Jegs branded. Jegs distributor. These are Jegs
pulleys.
Wires. The water pump pulley came from here. The header wrap came from here. The Jegs mini starter down there came from here. Several sets of spark plugs. And by several sets of spark plugs, I mean several sets of spark plugs.
Shocks are from here.
Shocks are from here. QA ones that are from here.
Yep.
Things you can't see. Obviously the Jegs heads that are on it. They're just the out-of-the-box small block Chevy heads, which we are going to do some more fiddling with here in the very near future. This engine is actually going to come out of this car, and we're going to take it back up to Bob's, and we're going to do some more playing with it. So this will not be the last you see of this engine, but it will probably be the last, if not second to last video you see with this engine in this car. But Jegs heads, Jegs rockers, Jegs push rods. The whole rotating assembly was scat, which originally came from Jegs. The brake master cylinders from Jegs, those are Willwoods. Actually, those are Jegs branded ones, I believe.
I think it's Jegs.
Because we tried a set of Willwood ones and they worked just a little bit too large. Jegs fuel pressure regulator. You walk around inside the car. Jegs seat, Jegs harnesses, Jegs steering wheel with quick adapter, heat mitigation stuff, also from Jegs. I believe the turn signal was also from Jegs.
It is.
The fuel level gauge, also from Jegs. All of these gauges, also from Jegs. We got a lot of stuff here.
A lot of stuff.
Got a lot of stuff here. The fire extinguishers from you guys. Let's think. What else? All the fittings, lines and such, that all came from these guys. One of the nice things is like AN fittings and NPT fittings and all that kind of stuff. They have all that stuff in stock, so it's very easy to get a hold of that.
Yep.
I'll show you the back here. There's a bunch of stuff you're not going to be able to see because it's under the car, but the fuel pump that's in this thing, also from Jegs. Fuel cell from Jegs. Braided steel lines and fittings, also from Jegs. All of our wiring and such that came with this thing, fuel sending unit, that's all Jegs. There's a lot of Jegs parts on this car.
A lot of Jegs parts.
You know, and the thing is, I've talked about this on a lot of videos, that like, I couldn't do what it is I do if I didn't have you guys.
Well, we appreciate your business. It's we try the best we can to have as much parts. I stock more Pontiac stuff because of you. I stock more Oldsmobile stuff because of you. But yeah, we try to accommodate, and that's the thing. Chevrolet stuff, we don't need to worry about.
Yeah.
Chevrolet stuff. Chevrolet stuff is bread and butter. That's you know, if you're a kid starting off, well, it used to be you start off with a small block Chevrolet. Now you start off with an LS Chevrolet.
Right.
So it's still the same. It's just a different generation. And we carry just about. I mean, you can start with a block, and we got everything in stock to build that block.
Yeah.
You can rotating assemblies, heads, like I said, intake manifolds, carburetors, everything you need to build a motor, we got it. We keep it in stock. So that's the cool thing about the Chevrolet version. But that being said, also a lot of all your Ford stuff, I try to keep a lot of that stuff in stock too. Ford's gonna have 460 stuff because a lot of guys are still building those. We keep a lot of that stuff in stock too. So yeah, we try to have it all. It's like I say, the best price of pros advice. That's what we try to do.
The thing for me is, realistically speaking, this would never have happened if I didn't have you and the team here in this store.
Yes.
Because there was every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yes.
If you watched the videos, you were like,
Yeah.
Austin, for real, you're at Jegs again? Yeah.
Like, there's people joking about it. How come he's not wearing a yellow shirt?
Yeah. I don't work here. I don't work for Jegs. But I mean, every day you run into a problem, you run into a fitting you need, you run into an issue you need. You got to be able to resolve that.
Yeah.
And having you guys in the 11th Avenue store here, I always could call and say, hey, I need this, I need this, I need you to find this.
Right.
Bing, bang, boom, we're rocking and rolling. So we were able to accomplish this in a hilariously short amount of time.
Yeah, from nothing to a run and driving car in about 10 days.
I mean, it was wild the amount of progress that we made on this thing.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that, like, I want to say thank you to Jegs because they have made this kind of thing possible for me. But it also kind of goes to show that, like, you can do this still in the modern world if you want to build a hot rod instead of having to order things off the internet and pay Alibaba's Auto Parts Express.
Sure.
They can come to you guys and be able to get parts and be able to get the same kind of service that I have.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, you have something that's a little bit of a different platform. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to find. But as you were saying, like, kids these days are going to start out with an LS. They're not going to start out with a small boy.
Exactly right. They're going to start off with an LS unless they're getting their. And we're seeing this more and more. Kids are getting their grandfather's cars, or kids are getting their father's cars, which is great. I love to see that because that kind of skipped a generation.
Yeah.
There was a whole generation that really wasn't interested in hot rods at all, but that's over now. And now these kids, this generation, man, I'm telling you, they eat it up.
Yeah.
They eat it up.
Well, it'll be interesting to see because they're going to be able to inherit a lot of that stuff instead of having to buy it themselves. Because trying to buy it right now, the price on that stuff is
it's ridiculous.
Obscene.
It's ridiculous.
Kind of partially our fault.
Back in our day, you could find a Camaro somewhere of some shape, form, or fashion for $500, $600.
Right.
Now you can't find one that's got holes in the quarter pound you can drive a truck through for $12,000 because it's rare.
Right.
It's rare for a reason because nobody wants to buy your car. It's rare for a reason. But no, that's the deal. And you see a lot of guys, especially second and third gen Camaros, because they're still readily available and they're still fairly cheap, doing LS swaps on them. Or doing LS swaps on them. I've sold LS swaps for everything. I've sold LS swaps for airboats. I've sold LS swaps for airplanes. I've sold LS swaps for everything. but it's because it's such a popular engine series, and they make everything for it.
Yep.
With a stock block 5.3, you can make 1,000 horsepower easily.
Yeah.
Without hurting the block. But like I said, on these kids that are dragging their grandfather's stuff out or got their father's stuff back out and still got a small block in it, man, I love them because they come in here. They don't know anything about anything, but they want to learn everything about everything. Yeah. And that's the greatest thing in the world.
That kind of hunger is not something you can teach.
No, it's not something you can teach, and that's the deal. That's why we love to get all these kids in here, and we see them a lot all during, especially in summertime, because they're working and making money, and they're not in school.
Yeah.
So they want to spend all that money with me, and I'm great with it. But it's
I mean, listen, that's how it's been since time immemorial.
Yes.
We worked our asses off in the summer to make money to be able to buy hot rod parts.
Hot rod parts, and that's exactly right. That's what we did. And when we weren't working on our cars, we were hanging out at a place that we hung out with cars. Yep. And that's what it was. And I did that forever.
Yeah.
I mean, forever. Or with race cars, I'd race sometimes on Wednesday nights, Friday nights, Saturday, and Sunday. I mean, like every week.
Wow.
And when you weren't racing, you were working on a car where you can race it, or if you broke anything, you're having to fix it.
Yep.
So yeah, it was nice. The closest speed shop I had to where I lived was 40 miles away. So you had to plan that trip
Sure.
and to go. So it's nice. The city side of Columbus has a nice, good speed shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, and I make a comment about this in a bunch of other videos. Is it feels like an old school speed shop here.
It is. It's really, I mean, this is the same building that's been here for close to 60 years. I mean, before it was, it still was at the same spot, but it was a different building. But this building, in fact, this part that we're standing in, it has probably been up for at least 50 years. And the front part of the building has been there for 60 years.
Yeah.
Jegs is 65. That's why the 65 is on the side of the car. And so he's been here for 65 years. Hopefully we're not going anywhere in the near future. I think we'll be right here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll just keep spending money and then you guys will absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to say.
I'll single-handedly keep you in business. It's a little bittersweet, I'll be honest, to have done this and to kind of move on to the next thing, whatever the next thing may be. Thank you to Doug, who was able to make this thing possible, who owns the vehicle, and all the guys here at Jegs. Thank you to Jegs Corporate and everybody that was able to help make this thing happen. If it wasn't for everybody that made this happen, if it wasn't for you guys watching this stuff, I would never have gotten to build a NASCAR. I would never have gotten to take this on Hot Rod Power Tour. I would never have had these adventures and these experiences if it wasn't for you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, you know, constantly trying to find out my resolution to whatever my random problem is.
Right, we appreciate it. I mean, it's you know me, I like to hunt. I like to.
You do?
Yeah, I love it. I enjoy it.
Yeah. You want the challenge.
Yes, I like the challenge.
Yeah.
I like the challenge.
It's been a heck of an experience. I am excited to see what my next stuff is. This is kind of like the last time I'm going to film with this car. We're going to pull the motor out of it, and then the car is probably going to go up for sale here in the very near future as a roller. And then that engine is actually promised to a friend of Bob's. You didn't notice the sticker here. That 406 that's in this is going to go to a friend of Bob's for his 1979 Camaro. So the car will be sold as a roller, and we'll move on to the next big, bad, awesome project. So
as one of you guys want to buy it, and build a motor stuff, come see me.
We can find somebody who can help you out with that. It'll. I don't know how we're going to sell it yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but it'll live another life somewhere else somebody will appreciate it, I hope, and hopefully just not stick it in a garage and rub it with a diaper.
It'd make a great Silver State Classic car. You guys?
I would love to road race this thing.
Oh yeah, wouldn't it be fun?
Oh my God, it'd be
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
And I made it through the entire Hot Rod Power Tour without getting a ticket.
See?
Which is impressive.
That's very impressive. That's very impressive.
All right, guys. I just wanted to film a quick little thing here and grab Terry for a little bit and show you guys the Jegs NASCAR. When I say that this thing was built with Jegs, I mean like literally the whole thing.
Yep.
Everything that could be that's not NASCAR specific either was purchased here or is Jegs branded stuff. Right. And I really appreciate everybody that's been able to make this thing possible for me. So hopefully you guys enjoy this quick little walk around with a car. Terry, appreciate your time, sir. Time for lunch.
I appreciate it.
Hope to see you again on another video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If you're interested in the chassis, I'll keep you guys posted on how that's going to go up for sale. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.